Ooh. What's up, Internet? My name is David Webb.
I'm Arielle Edwards.
We get nerdy nightly.
And we thought we'd share it with you.
That is right. Welcome back to the Tuesday edition of the Nightly Morning Show. The only morning show.
Ever.
The only one.
I know. There's why? No other.
How did no one else think of this? Like, we'll do a show in the morning.
I know. Wild.
Yeah.
We are so smart.
We are so
Honestly,
smart.
Actually, was your idea.
SMRT.
So you are das smartest.
I'm das smartest.
Das smartest.
I mean, in your world, like, we're the only morning show because you don't know who Regis and Kelly are. So, like...
That's true.
What's a morning show? Is there a morning show that you've seen an episode of? Can you name a morning show, even if you haven't seen it?
A morning show. Does the Amanda Bynes show count?
Was it in the morning?
Sometimes. I don't know what its usual airtime is. You know.
Then why would it count?
Because it has the word show in the title. The Today Show? Maybe.
What about Good Morning America?
No, I'm Canadian.
We watch American television in Canada. We watch almost exclusively American television in Canada.
Not me. I'm a purist.
You're like, I only watch Corner Gas.
And Schitt's Creek.
Schitt's Creek.
It's funny because I actually haven't seen Schitt's Creek. Breakfast television. I've been on breakfast television, but I haven't watched it. I pre-recorded it and then watched it later. Does that count?
Honestly, if I'm being honest, I think I've been on more morning shows than I've watched.
Yeah.
It's not a format that I watch a lot of.
No.
Mostly because I'm not awake.
Yeah, I'm not awake, or if I am awake, it's because I have to do other things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so.
Yeah. One time, I was doing Shrek in Colorado, mm-hmm. and we were doing a segment for, like, the local Fox affiliate mm-hmm. to, like, promote the show. And the woman, they wanted us to be in costume. And so I was like, all right, well, I'm Shrek, Donkey, and Fiona. What if I interview you about the show? Because she was like, I don't know what to do, guys. Like, you guys are in costume. Like, what is this going to be? And so I was like, all right, give me the microphone and I'll interview you about our show.
Oh, goodness.
And she was like, yeah, that sounds great. That's a funny idea. And so I was like, oh, yeah, so what do you think of our show? And she was like, I haven't seen it. And I was like, great start. Yeah, this is going to go awesome. It's online tomorrow. I should post that in the Discord for people who want to see it.
I need to see that.
It's so bad. Like, it is, like, aggressively it's a bad segment.
I love it. I'm here for it.
And I was trying so hard, and she just did not want to improv.
She's bad at improv.
Also, what's up, Orange? Thank you for
You're supposed to say yes and.
You're supposed to say yes and.
Yes, I saw the show. I don't remember it, but yes.
So we're not going to talk spoilers, but last night we finished season 4 of Big Mouth.
Yeah.
What did you think?
It was fun. This season seemed like more than the other seasons.
See, I would say it's more in some ways and less in others.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't think it was as strong.
Yeah, me either.
I'm not gonna lie, but it was still good. You know, I still enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. I think the choice to send Jesse to another school at the end of last season made it difficult.
Yeah.
Because they had to split the storyline into so many different things.
Yeah.
And you know, there's a thing in animated shows where as the seasons go on, they introduce so many funny characters.
Yeah.
And they try and keep all of those characters' storylines going.
Yeah.
And this season was held back a little bit by that for me.
Right.
And because the show is at its strongest when it's about the kids. The 5 or 6 main kids.
Yeah, for sure.
And, you know, as much as I loved the Jay and Lola stuff, that was like a whole storyline that didn't connect as well to the other kids at the end of the season.
They were doing their own thing, basically, the whole time.
Yeah, and it just kind of became a lot of that. Like, Jessie was kind of doing her own thing for a lot of it.
Yeah.
Nick was almost doing his own... Like, it almost felt like it was, like, this extended Empire Strikes Back moment where everyone gets separated and is doing their own thing.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And it was weird because, like, it was hilarious. It's so funny. Big Mouth is such a funny show.
Yeah.
And I love it. I just...
and I also...
Yeah, it was interesting.
I also think it's a super important show.
Oh, 100%.
Like, you know, like, I've told my brother, who's, like, 15, to watch it. You know what I mean? Like, I think... like, we've talked about this. Like, oh, if there was something like this when I was, like, a kid, like, growing up through this shit, like...
Yeah,
it would have made such a difference.
Yeah. And, like, the ideas that they deal with and the way that they deal with them is so good.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, I say it's, like, not as good as the last season, but that's on a scale of, like, I thought the first 2 seasons of Big Mouth are all 10s.
Yeah.
And this one is, like, a
amazing.
9.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's still good.
Because we couldn't put it down. Like, we literally couldn't stop watching it.
Yeah. We watched the whole season in the past 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, if we had more time, we would have done it in 1. Like, we would have happily binge-watched it.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah. Do you want to give, like, a bit of, like, a premise for those of you who've never...
If you've never seen Big Mouth, yeah. So Big Mouth is a story of 2 boys, Nick and Andrew, going through puberty. And it's the most honest telling of what it is like to be a young person going through puberty that has ever been put into the public.
Yeah.
Because it's animated so they can do things that you can't do with real humans.
Yeah.
Like, you say a lot of children's genitals in a way that, like, is not problematic because what they're talking about, it's important to talk about, like, life at that age.
Yeah.
And it's so hard, right? Because you don't want to sexualize kids. And the show does a really good job of not sexualizing the kids.
Yeah, no, it's not at all.
But
it's humorous.
It talks a lot about how we view our own bodies and our own, like, life experiences at that age in a way that I think is really, really, like... It ascends everything for me. It's really just an honest story of what it is like to be anxious in middle school, and what it is like to be depressed in middle school, and what it is like to be worried that your penis is smaller than the other penises in your middle school. Like, it really, but, like, it goes into those things in, like, a real way and not in a joke. The thing about the show is that it is so funny, but the kids' issues are never the joke.
Yes.
And they do a really good job of being really honest about what the kids are going through without being like, this kid is dumb for this. Or this kid is, you know, they might have the kid's parents call them a pervert, but the show never calls them a pervert. And so it has like a real, like hands-on, hands-off kind of way of dealing with issues that I think is quite impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the show. Like, you showed it to me on the cruise ship, and I was
that's right. Yeah, you hadn't seen it before.
No, I have.
And we binge watched all 3 seasons in like 2 days. Like, it was wild.
Yeah, we watched it all because I was like, this is amazing. The other cool thing as well is that a lot of, pretty much everything in the show is based off of real events of like real life events of like the writers. Which is, so it really is like a real representation of what it is like to be that age.
Yeah, and you just have, comedians always have a way of like taking stuff we all deal with and being able to bring perspective to it.
Yeah.
And that's really what the show is. It is a bunch of very, very intelligent, funny writers bringing perspective to puberty in a way that just honestly blew me away. Like, when I first saw the first season, I was like, this is brilliant. Yeah. And my buddy Corey and I would just sit in his apartment and rewatch episodes and like, try and imitate Coach Steve or Rick, the hormone monster. And
yeah,
I'm excited. Honestly, I if I'm gonna be honest, I'm excited for season 5. Because season 4, they split the group up and they had to deal with that through season 4, and they mostly did. I'm excited now. Everyone is like, together. Yeah, let's do season 5, and I can't wait for it. I also cannot wait for the spin-off show, which is Human Resources, which takes place in the monster world.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Yeah, that's going to be fun.
So they announced that at a Comic-Con panel that my buddy Robbie and I were at, which is where I have that foam finger that's the shocker.
Yeah.
And so, that's going to be coming soon, hopefully in the spring. we'll be getting the first season of Human Resources, which
That'll
will
be fun.
I'm so excited.
That'll be fun. Yeah, all the kids have a hormone monster. And so this show is
just watch the show.
Yeah.
I can't even begin to explain what that is. If you haven't seen it, just go watch it.
Yeah,
it's really worth it.
Watch like the first episode. It's like 20 minutes, 25 minutes per episode. Give it a watch. It's I think it's really, really great.
Yeah, and make sure you watch all the way through to season 3 to catch the Florida episode, because the Florida episode is chef's kiss. It's quite good.
Pretty great.
Should we do some news?
Yeah.
Guys, y'all, that Warner Brothers news.
Oof.
Just before we move on, Rock Mage asked what's it's on. It's on Netflix.
Yes.
It is a Netflix original. And it's one of my favorite things on Netflix, honestly.
Yeah, I would agree with that, actually.
It is the thing on Netflix I'm most excited for when it drops.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah, you're like, oh, Big Mouth is coming.
It's like Big Mouth and then Stranger Things. And then I don't know what else.
I'm still not caught up on that.
Yeah.
My bad.
I honestly don't even know now that the Netflix Marvel shows aren't there anymore. I don't even know what original shows I'm so excited for there. We need to watch Queen's Gambit.
Yeah, we do.
All right, y'all. So there is some fallout to the Warner Brothers decision last week.
What?
What? Warner Brothers did a
shocked.
crazy thing and there's fallout?
I'm shocked.
So this is going to be tough to talk about because there's so many different aspects to this that it's going to be difficult. But I would like to start by saying that Disney has said that they have a big investor call on Thursday this week. So we're going to learn a lot about what's going on with Disney from that. There will be a lot of news. I'm assuming that on Friday we'll be able to talk about that. But there is some speculation and some comments have been made by Disney that Disney is acknowledging they've had $7 billion grossing movies last year. This is from comicbookmovie.com. They're not about to move their stuff to Disney Plus the way that Warner's has. Instead, it is moving some films to streaming, as it did with Hamilton and Artemis Fowl. Likely Cruella de Vil, the Emma Stone movie, is going to be one of those. But an agent notes that the way Disney has handled the shift stands in stark contrast to what Warner's has done. So anyone who was thinking that every single Disney movie next year was going to move to a streaming service, that is likely not going to happen. And I think that is very smart for Disney. Disney is in a position with their negotiations with movie theaters where they already kind of push the movie theaters around a little bit. And
they had the high ground.
Well, and they have a better rate from movie theaters than other studios do.
Oh. Interesting.
So when usually there's like a 50-50 split in the United States between what the theater keeps and what the studio keeps. Mm-hmm. Disney, in many cases, has argued for like a 60-40 split. I
see.
Because their movies account for like 40-ish%. Because of the Fox merger, Disney accounts for like 40% of all box office income.
Right.
And so they're like, we are half of your business. Give us more money.
Yeah.
They had $7 billion grossing films just last year.
Wild.
Previously, the most billion-dollar grossers in a year before that was 5. So Disney had more billion-dollar grossers last year than all studios has had in any year before that. So Disney...
They're doing okay.
Disney is the strongest box office studio. Mm-hmm. The MCU makes money. The Disney... The live-action remakes make money. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, those things are just in a position where they don't want the movie theaters to go away because they make bank there. They are not losing money at the theaters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not surprised that
mm-hmm.
Disney is gonna, like, I think this is a dumb move by Warner Brothers. First of all,
we're gonna get into it.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it. I am not surprised by this news at all. There was
mm-hmm.
no way that Disney was gonna put all their stuff on a streaming service and not put it in theaters. Like, that just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and here's the thing, and we're gonna get into this in a second, but Disney, in a way, saves face with their creators as well.
Meaning?
Well, because let's get into the title. Let's get into what people are talking about. Christopher Nolan has come out in a strong way against this move. Christopher Nolan, if you don't know, Christopher Nolan is one of the most, like, old-fashioned directors. He still tries to shoot everything on film, like actually on film, instead of digitally, which most people have moved to. And he has made the comment, some of our industry's biggest filmmakers and most important movie stars went to bed last night went to bed the night before, thinking they were working for the greatest movie studio, and woke up to find out they were working for the worst streaming service. Burn. Can we just unpack that? Woke up to find out they were working for the worst streaming service. I'm not convinced that Christopher Nolan has ever watched anything on a streaming service, if I'm going to be completely honest. Yeah. I'm not convinced that Christopher Nolan has internet in his house. I think he has a telegram machine, and if you want to send him a message, it comes through in Morse code.
That would not surprise me, actually.
Yeah. He went on, Warner Brothers had an incredible machine for getting a filmmaker's work out everywhere, both in theaters and in the home, and they are dismantling it as we speak. Oof. They don't even understand what they're losing, their decision makes no economic sense, and even the most casual Wall Street investor can see the difference between disruption and dysfunction.
Wow, the shade. Holy cow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so insane to me that Warner's did this, because they had a great relationship with Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan printed them money. Like, Christopher Nolan backed the money truck up to Warner Brothers, and they backed up the money truck back to him. It was like 2 money trucks just going back and back and back and back. 100%. And now, I mean, this is the strongest comment I've ever read in my life. They woke up to find out they were working for the worst streaming service. This is what Disney is not going to do. They're not going to put themselves in a position where they piss off the people who make the content. Yeah. Because here's the thing. And this is the thing that people don't seem to understand. Your creators are vital. Disney cannot make good movies without good directors. Mm-hmm. They just can't. They can't make good movies without good writers. You can't make good movies without good actors. You can't just come up with this stuff. It doesn't just happen.
No, it's a machine. It's not a one-man show.
Like, yeah.
So detailed. Like, every single person has to play their part well for things to for you to come up with, like, a masterpiece, which these studios sometimes are able to do, like... Yeah.
But Christopher Nolan is absolutely right. Like, there is going to be fallout on every level from this decision, including Legendary, the studio that co-produced and co-financed Dune and Godzilla vs. King Kong, is pissed. How much... Okay, so say you're a rival studio and Warner Brothers is about to make this decision. How much time in advance do you think Warner Brothers told Legendary that they were going to make this announcement? If you had to guess.
Well, I know what they should have done.
Which is?
Like a month. Like, they should have talked.
They should have negotiated it.
Yes.
How much time do you think Warner Brothers actually gave Legendary to digest this information?
24 hours?
God, no.
Okay. 8 hours?
Nope.
2 hours.
You're getting closer fast.
1 hour.
Not even.
What?
They gave them 30 minutes. Warner Brothers called Legendary 30 minutes before the announcement to say, hey, so just so you know, that movie that you helped us make, we're going to put that on our streaming service. And we're going to go announce that to the public on the hour. So we'll see you in 30 minutes. Bye. Yeah. So here's the thing. Legendary and Warner Brothers split the box office. If Warner Brothers puts it on HBO Max, Warner Brothers doesn't have to take any of that money and give it to Legendary, which is so shady. And I don't, they're going to get sued.
Oh, yeah. There's no way.
Because if it's not Legendary, there are actors and directors who have back-end deals who are going to sue them. Like, someone is going to sue you, and they're probably going to win.
Everyone is going to sue you. Like, you are going to have so many lawsuits. You're going to, oh, God, I can't...
it's every single person who comes out about it is literally like, what were they thinking? Like, it's not even upset. It's everybody seems baffled.
Well, and that's what we said yesterday. I was like, why?
Yeah.
Why would you do this? Like, why would you shoot yourself in the foot like that. Like, I don't understand. I really don't.
Yeah.
And you know, it's going to be like a snowball effect. Like, as soon as one person is successful with a lawsuit, everyone's going to just jump on that.
I don't think it's going to happen. I think, honestly, because of the Legendary situation in particular, I think that this is going to get walked back. Because I think that what's going to happen is the movie theaters are going to realize that everybody else in the industry is on their side, and they're going to AMC, Regal, they're going to go, all right, Warner Brothers, for the next year, we are not showing your movies. You want to be in movie theaters? Not at the big ones, maybe in the small ones. You know, the rinky-dink places around town will sell out their theaters, but the movie theaters will go, we have Disney movies, we have Universal movies, we have Paramount movies. We're going to blow the doors open once the vaccine hits with those. And we're going to let those companies make money. And if you want to screw us, we'll screw you right back.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. There is a backlog of movies right now. There's a legitimate backlog of movies. There's going to be plenty of movies coming out next year.
Yeah.
AMC can probably not run a Warner Brothers movie.
That'll be fine.
Because it's not, like, there's going to be so many films to come out.
Yeah, they're like, it's not going to be a problem. Like,
and honestly, a lot of these movies are not going to pull people to HBO Max. It's not, like,
no.
There's a lot of these films that are not going to bring in millions of subscribers. And so, if I was AMC, I would be like, all right, fine. Put your movies on HBO Max. See if you make any money. Because here's the thing. If HBO Max has these movies, and they are not in theaters, the collective budget of those 17 films, many of which are $200 million movies, is going to be billions lost.
Yeah.
It's just, you're going to lose so much money. Warner Brothers just made, and it's why Christopher Nolan said it. He's like, this doesn't make economic sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And they're going to lose a crap ton of money, and AMC and Regal don't need to show their movies. They just don't.
No, there's plenty of content out there for them to not, and I think that they will take a stand. You know, I think that they're like, because they've already kind of been screwed around a little bit, and I like, if I were them, I'd be sick of it. I'd be like, no, we're gonna fight back in the ways that we can, and those ways are, we are not showing your movies. Let's see how you like it. You know, here's the thing. I fully support the movie theaters.
Well, and it's going to be interesting, right? Because the movie theaters aren't going to open until April, May, probably. Like, let's just be realistic. The vaccine's going to come out. We're probably going to have people in theaters in April and May of next year.
Yeah. In
a legitimate way. June, July, August will be ramping up. And I think by like August, September next year, we'll be back to like 75% of what 2019 was.
Well, and I think that because like those are like the warmest months, that they're like, whatever their capacity is, they're gonna be pretty sold out at that capacity.
I don't think they'll sell out. I think we'll be back to like, I think the box office for like July and August will be like 75 to 80% of what 2019's July, August were.
Okay.
You know, I think that we'll be fine with a little bit, but not quite all of it. But just realistically, that leaves for the next year, you're going to have a window of like June to December, which is what is that, like 7-8 months? That's not that many weekends. Like, you don't need these 17 movies. You might not need, because you're going to have Black Widow, Eternals, Spider-Man, Avatar is going to come out. Like, Disney has a crap ton of movies. Honestly, if I was Disney, I would save everything.
Yeah.
Because go talk to AMC, go talk to Regal, make a deal behind Warner Brothers back, and be like, we'll save all of our movies. We're gonna put them all out in theaters. If you cut Warner Brothers out of this, we'll save the movie theaters by screwing over our competitors. And honestly, I would support Disney doing that.
Yeah, me too.
It's the shady thing to do. And right now, because of how Warner Brothers is treating movie theaters, I'm like, do it. Screw them over.
Yeah, I like can't say I would be too like upset about it, but honestly, I wouldn't like. It's what I would do.
It's not even. I don't even think it's the wrong thing to do. I think that Warner Brothers didn't tell anyone who made these movies. Mm-hmm. They screwed over all of their partners, everyone they work with, and now I'm like,
that is so many people, so many thousands of people, like, because of all the different movies and all the different companies they've worked with and all the different, like, creative teams behind them. It's like, I can't even, as the kids say.
Rockmage says they can't say that, but they can infer it because of antitrust. But here's the thing, Rockmage. They're still trying to figure out if Warner Brothers broke their contract with the movie theaters right now. Mm-hmm. Like, they're not sure if that contract is broken. So there is a possibility that, like, there's still a possibility that the movie theaters are going to be able to take legal action against Warner Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
That's totally on the table.
Oh, yeah.
So it's really, like...
And if they can, they will.
We don't know what's going to happen, yeah.
Well, and Joe is asking me, is this the end of Warner Brothers?
Absolutely
which is
not.
kind of what I'm thinking. Like, how much of a setback is this going to be? Like, because there's no way that they're just perfectly fine after all this. Unless maybe, they walk back and they retract and everything just goes back to what it was before.
I'm not going to lie to you. If they make one good Batman movie, they're fine.
I don't know.
But realistically, 2022 comes... A good Batman movie, a good Wonder Woman 3 comes out, no one's gonna give a shit. They just aren't. Realistically, people will move on.
I'm not saying that the people are gonna, boycott Warner Brothers. I just mean, with this whole decision to put their stuff on the streaming service that's only available in North America, and a lot of people don't have anyways because it's not very good. Are they going to be,
To be fair, we've never touched HBO Max.
No, but it's
so we can't
even get
preface
it.
That.
So I feel like it's not very good just on that premise alone. You can only get it in America. And that is such a, small percentage of the world population that, you have to... This announcement would make more sense if HBO Max was more widely available.
No, it would make way less sense. Because you would be dealing with legal issues in more than one country. The only reason this kind of makes sense is because they only have to figure out the US right now. Yeah. If this was in every country and they were screwing over movie theaters around the globe, the reaction would be titanic.
Yeah, I guess so.
It would be it would be a volcano erupting, wiping out the dinosaurs. You know what I mean?
Well, it just makes me think then that they knew exactly what they were doing. And they knew that this was gonna, they knew how shady they were being. They knew what decision they were making, and they must have a plan. They must have a plan.
Dark Dispatch is saying, so will you two go see Wonder Woman 84 in a theater, or will you boycott on principle because Warner Brothers did this? No, I'll go see it. I'm not boycotting Warner Brothers. Not. The thing is, I'm more inclined now to go see their movies in theaters, so that they know that, I want them to put their movies there.
Into the theaters.
And I want to support the theater. Here's the thing, Dark Dispatch. Come the end of this year, if movie theaters in Toronto are open, the only thing to go see is going to be Wonder Woman. And I want to support the movie theaters.
Yeah.
And, the only way I can do that is to go see the movies that are out. Mm-hmm. And so I think it actually sends a better message to go see the movie in theaters.
Yeah.
I wouldn't watch it on HBO Max, though. If I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't. I would feel weird about that right now.
Yeah, this just makes... I know it's... HBO Max isn't even available here, but if it was, I really wouldn't want to get it. I would... Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm also, I also think that, I want to support Wonder Woman because I don't, I don't want this movie to fail. Because I don't want there to be any narrative around it that, the first Wonder Woman was a fluke and female-led super movies, whatever. You know what I mean? Because Birds of Prey already didn't really make a lot of money this year. And it should have. Birds of Prey was excellent.
It's very good.
Birds of Prey was an excellent film.
Yeah. And, it's also, so artistic. Yeah. It was, a really wonderful piece of art. Yeah. I don't know why I didn't make money.
Honestly, I think Birds of Prey might be the best made DCEU film.
Yeah?
Since Man of Steel, not including the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, since Man of Steel...
I would even include those, but...
No, I think Dark Knight is a masterpiece. Like, Dark Knight is, like, a masterpiece film. So is Batman Begins. The first two Christopher Nolan Batman movies are both, like, incredible masterpieces. But the Birds of Prey is, like, is an incredible, stunning... Which is probably why it didn't do great. I don't think it's as like, four pillars as, like, a Batman movie is. Just mean it hits, like, everybody. Like, it's, like, four quadrant, I think some people say. Mm-hmm. It's not like it's definitely more of an adult film about like adult issues.
Right.
But Birds of Prey was brilliant, and it didn't do well. And I just want like female-directed, female-led movies to do well, so that we get more of them and we get more diversity in our storytelling.
Yeah.
So I want every movie that Patty Jenkins makes to make $1 billion, so that they just keep giving Patty Jenkins movies to make, because I love her and her style. Very happy about that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's tough, right? Like there's definitely different sides to that, but I would support that movie with my money, because I believe in the stars, in the director, and I believe in the movie theaters, and I want that's the next big movie to come out, and I want to show up and give my money when it comes out to say like, hey, I want this to continue. Yeah.
That's always a discussion to have about like boycotting a company like that, because you're not like if you want to take a stand against like Warner Brothers, for example, like not going to see their movie in theaters is not the best way to do it, because there's so many people and so many influences that go into like creating a thing like that it just it for me it doesn't usually make sense.
There's some love for Shazam in the chat. You haven't seen Shazam yet.
No.
Maybe we'll watch that tonight.
Sure.
I love Shazam. I guys, I'm so happy to see some love for Shazam in the chat, because Shazam is so good. Mm-hmm. Shazam is honestly so... Like, if Birds of Prey is the really, really solid adult DCEU movie, Shazam is the really, really solid all-ages DC movie. Mm-hmm. Like, I wouldn't show Shazam to too young a kid, because there is a scene in it that is actually, like, really scary. Legitimately scary. But the comedy, Shazam is excellent. Like, that is a fun movie.
Yeah, you've been talking about Shazam for a while, actually, and it
brings me a lot of joy.
I would love to watch it. Yeah. We will definitely move that up the list.
Also, Zachary Levi is one of my favorite humans alive. I love him so much.
All right.
Yeah, I love him a lot. And I've got to meet him a couple times, because he was in a concert of my friend's music, and I was like, hey,
cool.
What's up, Chuck? Chuck, if you guys don't know what Chuck is a television show where Zachary Levi played basically a Best Buy employee who has a supercomputer of spy stuff downloaded into his brain. And it was a very formative, important show in my life. It was my favorite television show for like 5 years of my life. Okay. And it is still one of my favorite things ever. And so Zachary Levi Zachary Levi is just one of those people for me. Mm-hmm. I got to see him on Broadway twice. Oh. Well, actually more than twice, but I saw She Loves Me and First Date.
Wow.
And he's so talented, and I love him. I love him so much. Have you seen Chuck?
I don't think so.
Oh my god, we can rewatch all of Chuck. That's so exciting! I have a reason to watch it again for like the 7th time.
Doctor Who first.
Oh god, yeah, we need to catch up on Doctor Who. I also I started watching Grey's Anatomy yesterday from the beginning.
Yeah, I was like, what is happening in here? Like,
Grey's Anatomy is a show that because I've seen it so many times, I can put it on and not have to pay attention, because I know what's going on.
Yeah, I get that.
We will definitely do a Catching Up Claris episode about Chuck. Definitely.
Yeah, we'll make that happen.
Zachary Levi might be my favorite actor.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, I'm just kind of realizing now, like, there's no person who I'm more excited for a new project of theirs than him. You know what I mean?
Cool. Yeah. That's awesome.
I love him. Yeah. Yeah.
Making a mental note.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's my hall pass.
Your hall pass, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have sex with Zachary Levi.
Alright.
No, Zach, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I apologize. Unless you're into it, then I do not apologize.
Yeah, just ask first.
Oh my.
Jesus Christ.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
How did we get here from talking about how Christopher Nolan says HBO Max is the worst?
Because we like to go on tangents. On tangents.
I honestly, like, this is going to sound weird, but I really wish I could play around with HBO Max right now. Because I haven't seen it, like... Yeah. I just don't know. People in our chat say it's not great, but like I want to try it for myself because I'm curious.
Yeah, I want to see what's on there, see what the interface is like, you know, just how it's designed. But
yeah, I'm really curious just because some of the DCEU movies are already getting pulled off of it at the end of the month, which is really interesting. Oh. And they might not have all of the DCEU movies when Justice League, Zack Snyder's television show version of Justice League comes out. I refuse to call it a cut of a movie because it's not a movie. It's literally a show. So yeah, it's gonna be really, really interesting. I wish I could play around with it, but they have no anticipated date for rollout in Canada. And they don't even have one mentioned. Like, they say, like, next year we're focusing on Latin America and Europe. And I'm like, hey, hi, Warner Brothers, America's top hat would like to be in on this conversation.
Hi, yes, we would like to know. Yes, thank you.
I would like a place to watch the things, please.
Yeah.
Because DC Universe isn't here, which I didn't realize. DC Universe was great. Y'all, I already missed DC Universe. Like, why kill that? It was such a good little streaming service. With the comics... I'm sorry. Richard Sims says, a Texan told me Canada is a myth. I'm going to tell you...
I don't know how to break it to you.
Richard... all right, well, we're 42 shows in, so it's time to tell them the truth, Clarice. Oh, no. Richard, this show is propaganda to convince Americans that Canada exists. Damn. So, yeah, if you're watching this, it's our attempt to convince you.
We are gonna get in so much trouble. You can't. He's joking.
And now it's time for everybody's favorite segment. Clarus makes up the news.
No way. I'm not prepared and I'm so tired.
What's the news today, Clarus?
Besides, I can't top that.
What?
That this show is propaganda to convince Americans that Canada exists.
That's fair. I did not set you up well for that.
No, like now I have to like come up with something better than that. And I don't know if I can.
I have faith in you. Clarus makes up the news, you guys. This is my favorite segment to randomly throw at you without any warning.
I hate it. It makes me so nervous. All right. Clarus makes up the news. We have had confirmed accounts of, if you have an Oculus Quest 2, you should be very concerned because Alien is making a comeback. There's actually little face huggers in your Oculus Quest 2, and you need to be very careful because it gives them an in, and then you're done for. So doctors are warning people to, if you have an Oculus Quest 2, take it back. Clarus makes up the news. You're welcome.
The best part about that, and every time Clarus makes up the news, is that you have no capacity to, like, invent an idea. You look around, and you just... Our Oculus Quest 2 is right there. Like, it's literally right there.
I know, I can't, like...
And so you just pick... The last one was, it was snowing outside, and you were like, it's snow that steals your ability to eat, or something like that.
No, it's... You know what?
But babe, I'm really proud of you. An Oculus Quest 2 being a face hugger is a very funny idea. That is.
I think Rockmage is very upset.
I may have to force you to improv more because when I do, it's very funny. Like what you come up with is always brilliant. I laughed hard.
I'm glad. Chad seems to like it, so I'll take it.
Yeah, Chad's into it. Oh my god, babe, you need to be a comedian. No.
No, that would go very poorly. Be like, aha, I'm funny.
All right, y'all. Back to real news. Oculus Quest. We just want to be very clear that was not real news. That was fake news. That was a joke segment. The Oculus Quest 2 is a. You know what? I'm gonna say it here. The Oculus Quest 2 is a really solid system for the price.
Yeah. Also, thank you, Chomsky.
If you can deal with Facebook.
Yes.
Which we do, so like whatever. But the Oculus Quest 2 is actually like a pretty solid device. I'm no lie.
Yeah. Like when we were looking at VR devices to get, there were a lot of people that were like, they kind of like cheaped out on a bunch of stuff, and you have to get this extra thing and whatever. But like, it's fine.
But here's the thing: it comes in at hundreds of dollars less than its competitors.
Yeah, so it's really like...
So, like, yeah, like, if you want a more comfortable strap, you can buy one, but you don't have to. Mm-hmm. I actually kind of like that model. Like, let's give you the console cheap, and then you decide what peripherals you want.
Yeah.
Rather than...
those accessories.
They could have put it out for $700 with all that stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, giving the decision to... giving the decision to the consumer is fine by me, because it's a cheap VR headset that is as good as the expensive ones.
Yeah.
That just doesn't have as good peripherals because they're available. And to be honest, the peripherals aren't that expensive.
Yeah.
Like they're not. They don't seem overpriced for what you get for them. So I don't know. The Quest 2 is pretty fun, guys. I bought the new game for it, the new Star Wars one based on Galaxy's Edge, and I just started playing through that. So I'm very excited. We're going to be putting up our second Quest review soon.
Yeah.
This week the Subnautica review is going to go up, and then next week the Quest 2 review is going to go up. So
okay, cool.
I'm giving myself that deadline so that it actually happens.
The chair video?
The chair video will also go up this week.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And the several video is going to go up this weekend.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow, guys, so much content.
Yeah.
Go subscribe to the YouTube if you're not already.
Please go subscribe to the YouTube. That would, you know what? Let's just quick plug.
We're almost at 200 subscribers.
Yes. We need to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, y'all. And so...
Yeah, because then we can actually make money.
We're not even going to pretend that that's not why.
No, that's literally it. Like, that's literally it.
That's the only reason.
Plug that link, y'all.
Plug that link, y'all. youtube.com/c/nerdynightly. Although I think if you put in youtube.com/nerdynightly, it takes you there.
It takes you there. Yeah.
We also have a TikTok.
Yes, we're now TikTok famous.
What do you think that TikTok's at now?
I don't know.
If you had to guess.
We're in the middle of the show. We're just like, we're just going to check our TikTok, guys.
Y'all, we're at 423,000 views.
All right.
With 43,000 likes.
43,000 likes.
43,000 likes on that TikTok.
Wild. Cheers. That is the plan, Robert. That is the plan.
We don't want to take over the internet. We just want to be the internet's morning show.
I don't know. If we could own the internet, we'd be set for life.
No, because then we have to deal with the internet.
No. Then you hire other people to deal with the internet because you have so much money.
No. I've heard what it's like to... Oh, thank you for subbing on YouTube, Tactical BBQ.
Thank you.
I've heard what it's like to be a CEO. And, like, that's your whole life.
Yeah, you're right.
And I would rather spend my whole life making content and always working. Because that's what we do now.
Hey. No, you're right. But we're here to make an impression.
I'm so sad.
I love you.
I love you too. Y'all, in real news, Toby Emmerich. I don't know if you guys know, the movie Joker made $1 billion.
What?
Made $1 billion, yeah. And WB head Toby Emmerich apparently went out of his way to make them not make the movie. He tried so hard. He lowballed on the budget to discourage director Todd Phillips from making it. When the filmmaker persisted, he sold off half the movie. Joker then became a cultural phenomenon, grossed over $1 billion worldwide, honored with 11 Academy Award nominations and an Oscar for Joaquin Phoenix. The trade went on. It's funny because this story kind of came out now. The story went on to ask, would any of that happened had Joker been dropped onto HBO Max?
No.
It would not have made that much money. It's funny, right? Because, like, all entertainment news right now is about the HBO Max deal.
Yeah.
This story
takes over.
This story is about the Joker movie and how Toby Emmerich didn't want to make it.
Yeah.
Still somehow about the HBO Max deal. Because can you get away from this?
It's too big of a thing.
Yeah.
Like, there's too many... It has so much influence. Like, HBO, Warner Brothers, they have so much influence in this industry. It is a big, powerful company.
Yeah.
That, like, you can't talk about movie news right now without talking about it.
Well, the other problem is there's not other news, right?
True.
Like, there was a news cycle for the PlayStation 5 Xbox release.
Yep.
We're going to talk about Cyberpunk in a second, which is kind of like the last big release before Christmas. Yeah. Like, there's nothing else coming out between Cyberpunk and Christmas, really, that has a lot. So, like, everyone's kind of in this weird pattern where no one's putting out trailers. There's no new trailers to talk about because no one knows when their movie's going to come out. You know, we're in a weird cycle right now of like, we're just vamping on the news every day, hoping, you know, we're waiting for news to come up because there isn't a lot. There isn't a lot of entertainment news because everyone's kind of like at home.
Yeah.
And so like, this is a story about a movie that came out 2 years ago now. Was it last year?
Yeah.
Last year.
So.
COVID, guys, I don't remember time.
I know.
I don't know when things are.
It's been a weird decade.
It's been a weird... This last week has been a weird decade.
And we only have 6 more days of quarantine.
6 more days of quarantine. Boom! Oh, God, you guys, I want to go outside. I want to go for a walk so bad.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds nice.
I took out the trash, and I was like, taking out the trash is wild. But Toby Emmerich didn't want Joker to be made. Do you think he regrets that decision now that it made $1 billion?
Probably. I would imagine so.
Have you seen it?
No. Sorry.
I mean, that one's kind of fine. It's brilliant, but honestly, I'm not gonna lie, Joker's a rough watch.
Yeah, I've heard it's tough.
Joker's like, why is it rough? Joker is really, really well made. But the content is like depressing.
Yep.
And so that makes it difficult, right? Because you're literally like, oh my God, like I understand why this guy goes down this road, but it's it's just tough. Like it's a brilliant movie in a lot of ways that deals with subject matter that is like difficult to want to sit through, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And Joaquin Phoenix gives an incredible performance, but it's also a performance that's kind of like it leaves a weird feeling on your skin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
Robinson Hatton is saying, who is that? What was his role in the movie? Toby Emmerich was, I believe, the head of Warner Brothers at the time. Let me find his exact title. Current chairman of the Warner Brothers Picture Group. Was not on board with Joker. Which you know, I can kind of make sense. Like, if you read the script and someone was coming to you and being like, do you want to put your brand on this? It's tough.
It is a tough sell.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, it's like things that deal with really dark subject matter can be tough. Like, you want to make sure that it's done right, because when it's not, it can be like, yikes.
Yeah, I think that they have to be... Because here's the thing, if it hadn't worked, right? If it hadn't worked, it would have been a
disaster.
It would have been a difficult PR spin, right?
Yeah.
Like, you made this like dark, you know, toxic masculinity movie essentially, and nobody liked it. It's only kind of because it made money that it became good for the studio in the long run.
Yeah.
But like, I totally see Toby Emmerich's like point of view on it being like, guys,
sure.
I don't know, like, we're trying to make the Justice League, we're trying to make all these things. I don't know if this is the direction that we want to take the DC brand.
Yep.
Especially because, you know, dark and gritty wasn't working up until that point. Like, Batman v Superman kind of got review bombed. Not review bombed.
Bad.
But people love it.
Why?
I don't know. But people like it. And, but it didn't make money. Like, the fact that a Batman and Superman movie, the first time Batman and Superman are live action in a movie together, didn't make $1 billion, says a lot about the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
if
absolutely.
you can't 4-quadrant Batman and Superman, you messed up. And, you know, I think it also speaks to the time that those two movies came out in. I think people were much more open to a nihilistic Joker movie in 2019 than they were a dark and gritty Batman movie at the end of Obama's second term. You know what I mean? Like, those are two different time periods just culturally.
Yep, that is true.
So, you know, it's I think that the reticence towards dark and gritty totally makes sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I here's the thing, I understand his point of view, for sure. I'm, like, now, he probably regrets it, but at the same time, you know, like, he has valid points, you know? It wasn't like, he was just like, I can see his thought process. I'm sure he's happy that it made money.
Oh, of course.
But, like, you know,
I don't think he's happy that he sold off half the movie before it made $1 billion. I think he would rather keep all that money in-house rather than, you know, share it with another studio. But
yeah, that maybe was not a good move.
But that's life.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We did speak about Disney Plus at the beginning of the show. I should have lumped this in with that just for, like, sanity's sake. But Disney Plus might be merging with Hulu. As you guys know, Disney owns Disney actually owns Hulu because of the Fox merger. Disney owns a majority stake in Hulu and can decide what to do with its content. And so Disney Plus and Hulu might merge, which for the first time would put adult content on the Disney Plus service. This is an interesting move because apparently they're talking about having when you set up your Disney Plus account, you would have a password in the account in order to unlock the more adult-leaning content.
I was going to say, are they keeping it separate? Because is what I would want to know.
Yeah, so essentially you would have, like, because there's sections right now, it's like Marvel, Star Wars, Disney Plus, National Geographic, and I think that's it. Oh, Pixar. I think that it would be like, the next section would be like Hulu, and if you clicked on it, you would have to put in your code to get into Hulu so that your kids can't get into it. Although, considering some of the things happening in The Mandalorian this season, I'm kind of like, there was an action sequence in the last Mandalorian episode, no spoilers, but I was kind of like, wait a second, how is this a kid's show?
Yeah.
How is this for children? This is very violent.
Yeah, you know what, that's fair.
The thing with the staff?
Yeah.
In the head?
Yeah.
It was violent.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know that I would show Mandalorian to a child. Under, like, 11.
Yeah. I agree with that. Here's the thing. I think this is a good idea. Like,
it totally makes sense. Why would you have Hulu and Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Why would you have two streaming services?
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay for both. Together. I'm not. I have Disney Plus because it's got Star Wars. If Star Wars happens on Hulu, I'll have Hulu. It's I go where the Star Wars goes.
I know you do. And that's why I love you. No, it makes sense. So many people already have Disney Plus, and now there's going to be those people who like it's something for everybody in the household service. Like, I think that's a very smart idea. And then having it like its own kind of separate thing within I think it's smart.
Well, it's interesting, right? Because they've confirmed that Deadpool 3 is happening. Yeah. And I think that part of the reason for this is they want to have Deadpool 3 be able to go on Disney Plus at some point. Yeah. Because that's going to be huge. Like, if that's the streaming service where Deadpool lives, that's a thing. You know what I mean? I honestly think that this change is going to happen eventually just so that the Deadpool movies are on Disney Plus. Just so, they own Alien. Alien should be on Disney Plus. There's a bunch of little things like that where I'm like, Disney has the best library of films now. Yeah. They own all of the Disney movies and they own all of the Fox movies. They have the largest, but also they have the best library of films now. Yeah. Other than like classic films, Warner Brothers probably still has the best classic film library. But as far as modern film goes, they just own so much of it now. Putting it all in one place, I think Disney Plus will raise its prices for this. It'll probably go to $9.99 a month, which I think is fine. Yeah. I think as long as they can stay under $10, they're still going to beat Netflix. So if they go to $9.99 a month with like an $8.99 a month for a single screen deal, right? Put everything on there. I think it makes sense to me. Yeah.
I'd be on board with that for sure.
And if you're gonna do a price increase, the best time to do a price increase is when you say, "Hey, we are gonna raise the price by $3 per month, but we are doubling the amount of content."
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Putting those things together makes it a little more digestible for people.
100%. You know what I really want, though?
What?
I want them to put out, with your Disney Plus subscription, you get a reduced rate on Marvel Comics Unlimited. I know they won't do it, but Disney, consider it. Because, like, I want Marvel Unlimited, but I'm poor right now. So if you could, like, make that part cheaper so that I could read Marvel Comics on my iPad.
You heard it here, Disney. You heard it here.
I'll make YouTube, if you do it, I will make YouTube videos every week about Marvel Comics, just for the discount. I will talk about a great Marvel Comics run from the 80s and 90s every single week until the end of time.
Yes, you
would. Because I like your comics. It would mostly just be the Star Wars ones.
I know.
No, that's a lie. I'd talk about some Daredevil, some Spiderman. My friend Spiderman.
I don't like that.
You don't like Spiderman? Why?
I don't like it when you say it like that.
Oh, okay. One last story? Yeah. And then let's get out of here? Mm-hmm. Let me find it. It's somewhere in my iPad. This one's
yes.
launch of Cyberpunk 2077 is happening on Thursday. And there have been some reports of some bad reviews.
Yeah.
And the bad reviews aren't from the bad reviews from what I've seen are not necessarily about the game itself, but are mostly about the fact that it is glitchy. That there are some technical difficulties. But in answering some fans' questions on Twitter after some of the reviews, CD Projekt Red, the studio, their Fabian Dola, who works for them, explained that a bunch of issues reviewers encountered and reported have been fixed already. Some more are part of the update.
Great.
They went on to say, this is actually a different CPDR spokesperson, but some but not all of the patch and fixes people experience when the game launches. And that when Dola did say that when the game, the day zero patch that will download as soon as you put your disc in or as soon as you download it, will make it a different game with console updates. So apparently the game is going to run into a problem of there are problems with the game in the review copies because the review copies do not have the day one patch. And so they are being honest about the fact. They're like, hey, look, there are problems, there are glitches, but we've already fixed them. We just can't get the fixes out to the reviewers.
Yeah.
Do you believe them?
Yeah. I mean, like, huge major game having a day one patch, I'm shocked.
Oh, no, do you believe that the problems are mostly fixed?
I'd say probably like 50-50.
All right.
Like, I'd give them that.
I've committed to a 10-hour stream on Thursday, y'all. I've committed to it. I'm going to play Cyberpunk 2077 for 10 hours this Thursday. It might not be 10 hours if it's broken.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not spending 10 hours dealing with glitches. If there's like a bunch of stuff that needs to be fixed before I can actually enjoy the game, I'm not going to spend 10 hours with it.
No. Like, yeah. That's why we haven't got Baldur's Gate 3. Like, that's why I don't really do, like, the early access stuff.
The difference is Baldur's Gate 3 isn't out yet.
No, I know.
You know what I mean? Like, that is a game that...
It's just for us, like, those, like, technical side of things is, like, it's so just irksome when you're trying to, like, play a game, let alone, like, stream it.
Well, it's been so noticeable how much better my Valhalla experience has been since the patch came out that fixed a lot of the problems I was having.
Yes.
Like, I can go upstairs now, which is really awesome for a game that has a lot of stairs.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't go upstairs, you guys. I don't know. At first I thought it was me. I was like, do I have to, like, press a button to go upstairs? No, it's just Valhalla. So like that patch made such a noticeable improvement in my enjoyment of the game. And so I'm kind of worried that like day one Cyberpunk won't be as good as like day 4 Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Because I think these patches are going to come fast. They always do. The first like 5 or 6 patches happen within the first 2 weeks. Valhalla is already a much more optimized game. Yeah, and it's been out for less than a month. Nobody in the studio is going to be sleeping for the next 3 weeks. Literally. Like, even though they said they wouldn't do crunch, but you know that studio's in crunch right now. Yeah. Unfortunately. Yeah. But I'm excited for Cyberpunk. Oh yeah, I'm still very excited, and I'm trying to be positive, and I think that they probably fixed a good amount, and I guess we'll see on Thursday. Do you think that these reviews hurt the sales of the game? The most hyped game of the year, probably? Not really. Yeah. I think people are going to see that and be like, oh, bugs, and then they're going to be like, yeah, we fixed those. And I really don't think people are going to care. I think most people have already bought it. Yep. Who are most of the day one adopters, like myself, like I already own it. Yeah. It's literally sitting in my my Steam queue, waiting for the moment that it's allowed to start downloading. Yep. Yeah, I think I agree. A lot of people just already bought it, and they're just gonna wait for it. Like, it's been so hyped. I think it's gonna be fine. Dope. Yeah. I can't wait. Rockmage in the chat says I can download it now. I'm gonna set that up to do overnight tonight, so that it is ready for Thursday. Yeah. But we have a lot coming up until Thursday, including a few hours from now. I will be live. But it won't be me. It will be Ned Flanders playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. How excited are you for that stream? I'm not going to be there. I'm going to be in the other room. I'm going to put in some headphones. Actually, no. I'll probably watch the first little bit. Wow, thanks. What? That support is... Hey, I was here for all of Ron Burgundy, okay? Mind-boggling. I wasn't. I heard it was a good stream, though. I heard you had fun.
Yeah.
Ouch. My ego is crushed right now.
He did a great job. He's an interesting person.
Should be playing Pokemon on the phone because I can't. Although you guys, lately I've been playing Pokemon Yellow on my Game Boy Color.
I love that.
Can I be honest? I forgot how hard it is to play a game on Game Boy Color.
Oh my god, I know. It's so slow and like dark. And,
it's dark. Like I can't see anything.
I'm blind. Like, yeah.
Yeah. There's a part of me that wants to buy a second Game Boy Advance SP so that we both have one.
An SP, yeah.
Yeah, because it's a backlit screen.
Guys, if anyone has a used Game Boy Advance SP, we'll buy it off of you.
Rockmage is saying, I'm getting 2077 before Christmas, I just don't do pre-orders. That's fair.
That is totally fair.
That's fair. But yeah, so we do need to end the show. So I am going to just say Ron Burgundy today, or no, Ned Flanders today, 3 o'clock Eastern. Then at 7 o'clock we will be playing Among Us with Scary for his birthday.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna do the first. I think I'm gonna stream the first hour of that.
Cool.
And continue. I'm gonna Ned Flanders is gonna play Among Us for about an hour, or longer depending on how it's going. And then tomorrow, you are doing streaming. Yes,
I'm streaming tomorrow.
What are you playing?
2 o'clock. I don't actually know. I kind of left Wednesdays open for... Here's the thing. I was thinking of starting Hades tomorrow, but the problem is Cyberpunk comes out right after. And I don't want to start 2 new games and also have Skyrim.
Are you going to play Cyberpunk on Wednesdays next week?
I might. Yeah.
A Clara Cyberpunk?
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch you react to some of the ladies in that game.
It's gonna be great.
I'm excited. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Well, I actually did one of my sub goals is that I'll stream with like some Cyberpunk inspired makeup.
Oh, fun!
So, yeah, that'll be
that's
fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Then tomorrow night I'm streaming with Tommy Tsunami. We're playing Diablo 2, and then Thursday the 10-hour Cyberpunk stream. Sunday Twitch Sings. Both of us duets. Also check out Meg Mage Friday night because I'm going to be playing Among Us with her then.
Yeah.
Doing some proximity Among Us.
We got a busy week.
We have I'm streaming 5 times this week on top of the 5
on top of the morning show.
I have 10 streams this week.
You got this. I believe in you.
I need tea.
Tea and honey.
Y'all, just before we end the show, I just want to say a huge thank you to our Patreon supporters over at patreon.com/nerdynightly. You guys make the show possible, and we're very excited for our upcoming movie watch-along with y'all, as well as a public one that we're going to try and announce later.
Yeah.
So thank you. If you are not a member of the Patreon, consider joining. It's just $1 a month to get the Patreon-only podcast, as well as some behind-the-scenes stuff, and it is honestly the best way to support the Nerdy Nightly, just because it makes our lives a little bit more stable until, the restaurant's open and I can get a real job.
Woof.
Also, if you did catch only part of this, we do upload this to our podcast feed and to the YouTube. Go check them out there. If you want to see the whole show, or if you want to see past episodes, there are 41 episodes of the show up on those platforms, and after about an hour from now, there will be 42. So, is there anything else you want to say?
No, that you got it.
Well, then my name's David Webb.
I'm Arielle Edwards.
Do something nerdy tonight. Bye-bye.